You think that everything is covered in blister packs?
Just cut the top of it open and rip it apart with your hands.
There's no top.
Yes, yes, there is. Where there's a hole where it goes onto a hook at a store. Pretend you're building the end cap, and you have to make it the display, and they probably...
Oh, well, now you're talking industry to me, so now I can understand it.
That's right. I know that's the only way I can get through to you.
I mean, now you're calling out my years in retail, so now I'm telling you, this thing is insane.
It's like Fort Knox in there.
I'm just glad you waited until now to open it.
You know what? Listen, I've been busy.
That's right. We heard.
Oh yeah, how did it go with Eddie Pepitone?
It went really good. I just drove into town today. I really haven't slept in quite some time, so I'm fairly exhausted.
So wait, how many shows did you do with Eddie Pepitone? I thought you just did the Dallas show.
Well, the Dallas show, but then I drove from Austin to Dallas and then back that night. Then I woke up the next morning and flew to California, and then had to do some press stuff and then do a show. We didn't play that night, but I went and saw the new John Reese band called Plosives.
Oh wow!
And they were really good, and then had a show the next day, and then flew from that show to Dallas and played with Dracula's.
Oh, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yesterday.
Man.
Damn it.
And then drove back today, and there's just hasn't been a lot of sleep or anything else.
Okay, I think I speak for everybody here. This podcast is your priority, Michael.
Well, I'm here, motherfucker.
One, you don't speak for me. Two, he is here, albeit in a way that is infuriating to everyone involved.
I don't think it's infuriating to the listener. I think they actually love it. I think they probably love knowing. What I'm doing is I'm providing the listener with a sense of what a busy go-go world that it's like to live in the big city.
It's akin to a British befuddled charm.
It's not. Listen, I'm not an old badger. Just.
You just started to sound real good.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Okay, cool.
Where's your puffy thing that Mark sent us?
What's that?
Your puffy thing.
Yeah, your
little.
Oh,
your spiffle.
Is it for plosives? Is that what it's for?
Yeah.
Huh?
Whoa.
It's like a very early full circle, I think.
Wow, that's a very early full circle.
Let's just cut this one off right now.
I don't have the puffy thing. I don't know where. I'll have to track it down.
Don't say any fucking peas tonight.
Okay. I think I could do that. I can easily judge my words and think about that letter.
What letter's that, Mike?
And I think I will be able to do this perfectly.
Wow. So we've got a P heavy episode, letter P, not I mean, maybe both kind.
I started to get real excited, and then
I was about to get interested in this for the first time ever. If it was going to be urine related,
you almost didn't regret this.
Yeah, I almost felt like it was worth all the sleeplessness to make it back here.
Right.
I got to hang out with. I made friends with the singer of Nashville Pussy.
Oh,
Lane,
yeah, it was really nice. Oh. We actually was like really like this. I don't think he was prepared for me to because he had this band before that called 9 Pound Hammer that was on Crypt Records and that I liked, and just kind of we just went down I don't have a lot of people that I can talk very like in depth 90s garage rock music. It's a fairly obscure sub genre, and it was nice to kind of do that. Well, I'll tell you though, I sang my little heart out up there though.
Did you?
Didn't the Riverboat Gamblers open up for Blaine or for Nashville Pussy like I don't know, like 20 years ago or something?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we opened up then, but I didn't get a chance to do weed vapes with him 20 years ago.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
And yeah, well, weed vapes and talking about the Mono Men and the Mummies.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
There's some other bands we talked about, but they had a letter that I can't use today.
I know you've already fucked that up. I can't believe I've been paying attention. I would invite the listener to email every word with a P Mike has said.
All right, like I said it. I said Nashville. I said Nashville, Virginia every time.
Maybe Mark can do a little Bing counter. That'd be fun. You have a lot of time.
Just hand it off to one of the interns.
Right.
Yeah.
Thomas will do it.
Yeah, or Craig.
Craig, I don't think has been showing up on time. I don't know.
It's not his name. His name's Crag.
Craig.
Yeah. His parents were big Frank Frazetta fans.
I was going to say he was just an unimaginative Dungeon Master's troll character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Krag.
Crag. Me Crag. Me no use verbs.
Wouldn't use be a verb?
Yeah, it would be. I was just about to correct myself.
Again, Mark, make sure to ding Brian when you did that sentence.
Yeah, ding every error that I make, and that would be the one that people hear. Highlighting all of the relative correctitude. Correctitude. I think that's a word.
I think we can ding that. I think we can ding that word too.
You guys are about to feel like real
I'm
assholes.
not gonna research it, but I think we can ding that word. I think we're safe in putting a bet out that we can ding that word.
Surely someone other than me is going to Google it right now. I just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm doing it now.
Also, don't call me Shirley. Airplane. Reference.
What word did you just say?
References. No, I said airlane.
Well, look at this. Correctitude.
Listen to the tape.
It's a noun, correctness, especially conscious correctness in one's behavior. Thank you, dictionary.com.
That sounds like something a guy in the band Limp Bizkit would make up.
I'm looking forward to a night of shoehorn jokes just so you can drop the P out of things. That's going to be good.
I'm getting rude with my correctitude. And I want to break stuff.
Welcome to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
All right, let's get started here.
What?
Welcome to the International News Service.
Oh.
We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with...
I am Brian Camp.
And I'm M-Dub Mike Wiebe, and over to our left in the audio pit. Shit.
I believe that was a P word.
And I know it was. That's why I said. That's why I said shit. He's covered in flies and
don't take it out on him.
It's a giant hole filled with fecal matter, but it's got audio equipment in there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mark Ryan.
Hi, guys. I'm just going to do a hi, guys.
Hi, guys. You were such a friendly, your friendly voice.
He's the only approachable one of us.
Yeah, I think that's true. Well, professionally, that's important for him. So
yeah,
that's true.
I get to be rude as fuck in my job.
So we've got a special episode tonight. We've got a theme. We haven't had a themed episode in a while, and this one I just happened to come across 4 stories this week that all involve penises. So this is our
God damn it. I picked a bad week to show up to work here. This is going to be tough for me.
Yeah.
True.
Mike may have some trouble commenting on these episodes.
I may have to Google some synonyms
Yeah.
to that male genitalia.
What? There are no synonyms for male genitalia.
All they do is sin.
They're built for sin. That's the tattoo that Mark's gonna get across his chest. Built for sin.
Built for sinning with women. And
Synonym.
that's a new T-shirt. That's a new. Mark that down as another in the INS T-shirt line
Get
that I'm going
crack
to
on
talk
it.
about making for a long time.
So our first story comes to us from the BBC.
Bad Boys Club.
Oh, the Bad Boys Club.
Coo Little Pigs, spelled Kew. It's a business. Coo Little Pigs is a micro.
Does it mean something? Does KEW mean something?
Not as far as I could find. Like maybe it's a family name or something. No, because that's not the owner's name. So I don't know.
All right, the English are pissed. We're just a little ways into this. The English are already pissing me off. I assume this is an English thing, right?
Yes, this first story is in
Bad
English.
Boys Club.
They report it on stories outside of the UK.
No, they don't. I don't think legally. I don't think they can.
Coo Little Pigs is a micro pig petting zoo and farm in Buckinghamshire, England.
What makes a pig a micro pig?
It has to be under a certain weight, like 20 pounds or something.
It's a weight class.
It's a weight class.
Got to make weight.
So it's like a pig you could have at home that you think wouldn't destroy your house, but it's a pig. It's going to destroy your house probably.
So it's a more of a svelte swine.
Yes.
Way to get rid of the P. Good job,
Yep.
Mike. Don't all pigs just get bigger the more you feed them? Isn't that? Aren't they all? There's no such like that's the whole teacup pig thing, right?
There's a lot of debate as to if micro pigs are truly a thing or if they're just starving pigs to keep them small.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to have that debate here because there's a lot of implications there that a comedy weird news podcast isn't ready to tackle.
What? I don't think that's out of bounds.
I don't know. Of all the sensitive subjects, I am ready to dance around and worried about dancing around. The swine cloven hooved controversy is not one of them.
Okay.
Like I don't know what you could say to offend anybody with that. Hey, let me ask you this though. You know that Muppet, Mrs. Iggy? Is she a micro pig? Damn it.
You said Muppet anyway, man. Come on.
This is going to be our longest episode.
That letter's not in
Muppet. How do you think you spell Muppet, Mike?
It only counts if it's the beginning or the end.
What?
That is bullshit. That was never established.
There's a lot of words that end with that letter, so I have to avoid those two.
So it can't end or begin with a P.
End or begin with that letter, yeah.
So you could talk about how you ship things through UPS all the time.
Yeah, but I would call it ups.
Sure. You can say that you're happy they're starving these pigs.
Well, these swine.
That's right. I forget.
Yeah.
Because that is the position you're taking, right?
But I'm not happy about it.
Every time you say anything.
I'm ambivalent.
I don't think you should starve animals. I'll take a stand where you fail to. It's not surprising.
I don't know. Maybe these swine want to get in shape.
But
Right,
I don't know that that's what's happening here. I don't know anything about the farm aside from this one issue.
Oh, I was just gonna say fat shaming's not cool, and people should be. I'm body positive. So I think whether you want better health, I could have said the other word, but technically there's an E on the end, but it sounds like it. So
What word was that?
Shape?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can say that. It ends in an E. I'm not going to hold you
So
to
the letters
that.
are what matters.
So it's the sound. You think it's the sound. I think it's the letter.
Okay. Let's
So
do
the
that.
farm-
Let's do that then. That gives me a wider. That gives me.
So if you said psychologist, I would say that no.
Fuck you. You'd be like, fuck you, Mike.
Fuck you, Mike. Yeah.
So the farm has a strictly controlled breeding program. So the owners were baffled when a number of unexpected piglets recently arrived. However, this mystery was solved when a micro pig named Blanket was observed climbing a bench in his enclosure.
Hey, that's Michael Jackson's baby's name.
Blanket?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really rude. That is so rude. That's like if you had a baby swine and you named him Mike Wiebe. I would be upset. But you know what? It might inspire me to get in better shape. So
Blanket was observed climbing a bench in his enclosure before jumping so hard that he broke the bench and propelled himself over a 4.5-foot fence. That's 1.4 meters for the rest of the world. And began mating. Uh-oh.
We're not
Brian's
the only
upset.
one. No, I'm not upset. I just think that it's a falsehood to claim that we're the only ones who use inches and feet and yards. What is that? Imperial standard? What do we call that?
Listen, there's two kinds of countries. Those that use the metric system and those that have been to the moon. and then I flex on you after I say that.
Russia's been to the moon.
For the listener, it was very intimidating when Mike leaned into the camera.
Russia's never been to the moon.
Haven't they?
No,
dude. I don't think so.
no. I mean, maybe they sent some poor dog up there or something, but they never had a dude. They never had a dude up there doing kick flips like we did.
Did you say a poor dog?
What's that?
Did you say a poor dog? Send a poor dog up there?
I said a whore dog. Like they have a bunch of.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of. They have a bunch of hooker dogs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they sent one of those up there. But they never had like dune buggies and shit like that, like we did. We were fucking rolling around in there like we were the Manson family, just jumping off dunes and flipping off the earth.
Yeah, so he propelled himself over the 4.5-foot fence.
This sounds like a children's story. This is like God, all the words have the letter in it.
But just wait, it's about to get way beyond PG-13 here. He propelled himself over the fence and began mating.
Blanket pulls out his dick and starts jacking off.
Began mating with 2 female pigs in front of visitors.
Mike,
Nice. Good for him.
did he pull out his dick? Is that what happened?
What? Said he whipped out his. Said he whipped out his
dick.
He whipped out his dick.
All right.
The
Just want to
owner,
make sure.
the owner said, quote, "Now he has broken the bench and we have put extra measures in place. Sadly for Blanket and his girlfriends, the fun is over."
Man, what an asshole.
The farm's designated breeding male is a pig named Milo, but the farm said Milo is only responsible for about 20% of this year's piglets, while Blanket fathered a total of 71.
I have an emotion for him that is respect. I have respect of him.
That's good. So is it? I have a question about this.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that the reason Blanket is a problem is because they're trying to not have too many piglets in total, right? Because it would be silly if Blanket has proven to be the far superior breeding animal.
I think he has proven that.
The problem is
Blanket's
that
clearly
God damn it.
the what is it?
the issue
Okay.
is that Blanket
Uh-huh.
has the evil gene.
There's 71.
He's creating a whole bunch of little Damians, Omen 2s.
They have little 666 tattoos behind their little pig ears.
Yeah, it's little.
Mhm.
It's like little birthmarks.
Their tails curl up
Yeah.
into sixes. They line up.
Oh, that is true.
They're real mean, just like that book, Animal House Factory, written by George Orson. He's Animal Farm. It's called Animal Farm, I think, and it is about how the animals start talking, and some of them are mean, and they cuss, and they start a lot of troubles. And the biggest problems are the hogs. They're the meanest, and they're the worst. And then at the end, you a bunch of stuff happens and you finish reading it, just like I read it recently, because I read that one a lot.
You can tell.
And you read it and then you go, oh man, you know what? This is about talking animals, but it's also secretly about society and capitalism, and I don't like either one.
You don't like society or capitalism?
I mean, when you read this book, Animal Factory Farm, you won't like them either. You'll understand. That's why, other than this computer, I don't use any technology, because there's this book called 1984.
Mm-hmm.
It is about how it's set in the year 1984, and everybody's lining up to go see Back to the Future. And while they're lined up, a robot comes by, and the robot says, "Hey, everybody, guess what? You're not allowed to think nothing no more. Just go watch Back to the Future." And everybody's like, "Okay, I think that's cool." And that book kind of tells us about the dangers of technology.
I thought Back to the Future came out in 1985.
Well, I mean, that's how ahead of its time that book was. It predicted all kinds of things. It predicted things like big TVs and Back to the Future and hovercrafts and hoverboards.
That's in 1984.
Yeah, it predicted a key piece to Back to the Future too, because it predicted hoverboards.
A key what now?
A key beast.
Or beast, like one of those 71 piglets that were spawned.
That were in the book Animal Factory Farm.
I like it. In Animal Factory Farm.
Yeah.
So our next story comes to us from the Bristol Post. A man was recently visiting a shopping center in Stoke, England, and had just purchased more than
Stoke. Going to England, dude. Stoked. They got a killer. They got a killer half They got a killer half there.
He had just purchased more than $500 worth of clothes when the manager came out
From Gadzooks, probably.
and accused him of shoplifting.
Some Vision Streetwear, right, Mike?
Yeah. Maybe a Santa Cruz T-shirt with a screaming hand on it.
Apparently, the manager said she knew the man had stolen clothes because of a bulge in the man's pants. The man said, quote, "They kept pointing at my crotch, and I replied, 'Excuse me, that's my penis.' So the man pulled down his pants in the middle of the store, and they still didn't believe him."
Yeah, they pulled down his pants, and he pulled it out, and he said, "Look, it is some clothes. It's Vera Wang." Good for this guy.
Yeah, he pulled down his pants in the middle of the store, and they still didn't believe him. So he volunteered to take a male staff member into the changing room to inspect his bulge. Then the store kept him in the changing room while a line, or as they say in England, a queue.
It's actually pronounced quay, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Formed outside, and everyone waiting knew what happened. He said it was very humiliating. Eventually, the man was released. He demanded a refund and said he would never return to the store.
That's why Gadzooks went out of business.
He told the newspaper, quote, "I felt like I was a little man, be it one with a large penis, against this big corporate company. It's so frustrating."
Oh, man. This dude is telling that story every chance he gets. And will for the rest of his life. He'll probably, God damn it, he'll most likely do that computer thing where it spits out a thin
You mean a printout?
It'll
With a printer?
Yeah. He'll have one of those, and it'll make the thing come out that's the material that you use in books, and he'll carry it around everywhere and just kind of let it fall out of his jacket and stuff. Oh, what's this? Oh, that article about the time that my giant cock got me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you probably don't want to hear about that. Anyway, I was walking into Gadzooks. And I'll be honest, it was chilly that day. So it wasn't even a full...
Right.
It wasn't even a full... It was a half-mast situation.
In the middle of Stoke.
Yeah, what, do they just not see dicks in Stoke?
It's a weird thing to see and insist must be something other than a very large penis. Like, I think I would it's hard for me to imagine somebody accusing somebody of stealing something based solely on, like, if you had, what's something people steal?
Clothes, apparently.
Razor blades.
Razor blades.
That's why they have to put them in cages, because everybody's stealing them.
Yep.
But hey, why are they so expensive? That story and much more next later in the international news.
I feel like Andy Rooney's kind of pissed off about those razor blades.
Why are razor blades so expensive? Why are we supposed to shave every day? Are we supposed to shave our genitals too now? That's what they're saying. I miss a full furry bush.
We haven't had Andy Rooney in a long time.
Back with a vengeance.
So I will say this, like, I hadn't written this in the story, but a spokesman for the corporate, the store was called JD Sports, and a spokesman for the corporate store released a statement that's the dumbest statement ever. He says the customer in question was exhibiting suspicious behavior in the store. When the manager confronted the customer, he became abusive. Like, hey, you're stealing stuff. Like, what are you? Who is
then
not going to get hostile about that?
You say, hey, $5 to look at it, $10 if you want me to see me work it. That's most likely what he was doing in that room, was just everyone come in. All right, $5 if you want to see it.
Right, you want to see it.
$10 if you want to see me work it. And then if you want to be a part of any of this, the price goes way up.
Way up.
Well, how much?
Way up. We're talking $12.
$12 at least. So, Kevin, isn't it just as possible that what the store is saying happened is exactly what happened? And this guy just invented a fantasy about the time he got away with shoplifting something. And he just insisted that the reason that they stopped him is because he had a giant penis.
Big
no,
old
they
honker.
inspected his junk in the changing room and then let him go.
According to who?
Well, otherwise there would have been a police report or something, right?
No.
They would have filed a police report under hog leg.
I could see them going to the changing room and him maybe dropping trow to prove it, but I doubt the entire "I have a giant penis" line of this story.
I think that the corporate store probably would have said, no, he stole stuff.
It's hard for me to imagine a British man with a giant penis.
That's true.
How
That's
often do you
true.
imagine British men's penises, Brian?
It's just hard for me to imagine.
You ever watch James Bond? I'm sure everyone's watched James Bond, has thought about whether James Bond is cut or uncut. I know I have.
Mm-hmm.
So for our next story in our penis episode of INS, it comes from The Guardian.
I can make it do the helicopter.
Was that a...
That was James Bond explaining...
Which one? Which James Bond was that?
That was George Lazenby.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's a good safe bet.
Talking about how he can swing his dick all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Just by shaking his hips.
Right.
And I'm here for it.
Right.
But for real though, if I ever get caught, I might become the world's biggest cat burglar, and if I get caught, I'd be like, oh, I got a big dick.
Yeah, you probably should become a cat burglar because people would accuse you all the time of stealing something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are you saying that cat burglars shove everything they steal down their pants?
Well, the thing is, I've been accused of a lot of white-collar crime, but it's because I have a big dick.
Well, and don't cat burglars wear super tight leotards with turtlenecks?
Yeah, and we walk on our tippy toes.
Right. So where else are you going to put the jewels that you've stolen, if not next to the family jewels?
So our next story comes to us from The Guardian.
I only know of a roller derby team called the Guardians. Is there another team?
Oh yeah, I got the Blocker's autograph one time.
I'm more of a Jammer fan. Their Jammer core is fantastic.
Rhonda Rowdy.
A 66-year-old electrician in Germany is accused of murdering one man and mutilating several others by performing illegal operations on their genitals. The man allegedly began performing surgeries on his kitchen table and told his victims he was a trained medical professional. The man said he offered his services on sadomasochistic websites in order to earn enough to pay off his debts.
All right.
Oh, did he owe Jabba the Hutt?
Oh, maybe. You don't want to owe Jabba the Hutt.
I don't have it with me, Greedo. I just have to go cut off a few dicks.
This is the original script, right?
And then when Han Solo shoots him, he shoots off his dick.
That's why they cut it
And
out.
he shoots first. Okay. We all know that. Han Solo shoots off people's dicks first. He doesn't even get it. And then Chewbacca eats them.
That's why all those stormtroopers were such poor shots. They were too preoccupied with concern over their dicks getting shot off by Han Solo.
Yeah.
That's canon.
That's canon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is canon. It's written in a expanded universe book by Timothy Zahn.
The man said he castrated or partially amputated the genitals of 8 men between 2018 and 2020, but he denied the allegation that he was responsible for the death of one man who died several days after the procedure. The surgeon has been charged with murder and with causing serious and dangerous bodily harm.
That's what I like about this country is that we're a workman journeyman country. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And
This is Germany.
I know. So that's what I like about this country, as opposed to Germany. We allow our citizens to get good at something. All you have to do is say, "I'm going to do surgery on your dick," but let me say this: poor man's patent. I don't know what I'm doing. Poor man's patent. Poor man's patent. Poor man's patent.
So many people.
And you just made a patent for being an amateur surgeon when you do that.
As the only one here who went to law school, I want to just express that that's not how that works at all.
That is how that works here.
I don't know. It seems pretty effective.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about California? Are you talking about Texas?
Both?
No. Well, there you're wrong. Okay. You might have one place right, but you definitely have the other place wrong. And I'm not going to tell you which. I'm going to go make you go get out Rogret's Law Book, Volume 9.
You mean Roget's Thesaurus?
No, Rogret's. As in, I have no regrets.
You mean Black's Law Dictionary?
No, it's not. Jack Black didn't have anything to do with it.
Regrets, row problems.
Yeah, that's a good T-shirt.
Well, the store's on the way. Let's get Craig to write that down.
Our last story is a Patreon exclusive. So if the listener, if you enjoyed these 3 penis stories and you're like,
and how could you not?
How could you not?
You're just thinking 3 is not enough. I need a 4th dick story. Well, go to the Patreon, subscribe to the Knights of Kevin at the $3 level or above, and and you can hear this last story that involves both a man's penis and a snake.
Sometimes people refer to one as the other.
A trouser snake.
Yep. The most deadly snake of all. When it spits venom, it can hurt or it can make a baby.
So now we have to pretend like that story, like we finished that story and it was funny so that Mark can just cut it in. Ha ha! What a great story that was.
What an amazing story that
people on Patreon are going to love that one.
Yeah.
We haven't done it yet. Let's
be for real. We're going to do it and we're going to have a good time. That is for certain.
A+.
We don't need to act like we're fake surgeons, because we're real surgeons. We're surgeons of the audio medium. We're surgeons of infotainment. And we don't have to God damn it. We don't have to exercise our skills. That would be a vulgar display of our of our skills.
Wow. Profound.
Mm.
So this episode airs, this episode drops on November 17th.
Which that's industry speak again for is released. Drop, it means release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
That's not what I meant. But do you guys have anything coming up around November 17th?
I don't think so. Every Tuesday in Austin, Texas, I do a comedy show called Excelsior at the Buzzmill East. We just had our first one, and it did not go well. But I'm hoping that more people. It was real good at the other location. We just have to build this location. But ladies and gentlemen, just come on down. It's a free show. Maybe I'll do an extended version of the sticky cum joke I just came up with.
Mark, you have anything coming up?
We're going to work on recording.
Oh, Vidicon's gonna.
Yeah, so that we actually, because it's hard to book shows and do stuff when you don't have anything recorded.
I was just say I've managed to book shows and do stuff without anything good recorded.
Yeah, you'll have a leg up if you do something good.
Yeah.
Has Vidicon played just one show?
Yeah.
Was everybody into it? Like all the bandmates, everybody have a really good time?
Yeah, I think so. I think it went well. We just have to.
Nice.
Were there any headbangers in the crowd?
Not that I saw, but I'm sure there's some. There was a lot of nodders.
That's a start. That's a start. You can build on that.
What about any of the side to side?
What about chicken neck forward like a chicken?
Yeah, that's a John Reese move.
Like the Fabulous Freebirds?
Yeah, this is John Reese move.
I desperately want you to leave this in, but I think you've already decided that you're going to take all the discussion.
No, I'm not going to put this in.
I know. Son of a bitch.
So I think that wraps up another week at the International News Service.
You didn't ask me what I had going on, Kevin.
Yeah, that's rude.
So I just want to let everybody know Brian doesn't have anything coming up.
He might.
No, I'm not going to say now. I have something really cool happen. I'm not going to say. So fuck you.
So that wraps up another week of the International News Service. Find us across social media at International News Pod. Email us at internationalnewspod@gmail.com. Paint INS on turkeys and let them run wild through your cities. And check out our merch store on Redbubble and at our Patreon. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the International News Service. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. INS, the news you need.